Well, good things are afloat in Colts land as Nyheim Hines has landed a 3-year extension for, I believe, $18 million a year with $12 million guaranteed. That's a pretty good contract. That's a pretty good contract considering Nyheim Hines. Last year he had, I think around 300 or maybe close to 400 yards rushing, but also he had like 200 yards receiving because he's more of a dual threat quarterback. He's more of a dual threat running back, where he can do damage on the ground and by catching the ball, kind of like a receiver. So when you look at his stats, it's kind of like Brian Westbrook. You didn't just look at the rushing yards. You looked at the total yards. The yards from scrimmage is what you look at with Nyheim Hines. And his yards from scrimmage look very solid from last year, definitely deserving of a 3-year, $18 million extension. I think it's a good contract. Chris Ballard wouldn't give it to him if he didn't think it was a good contract because him, like many successful GMs, he's a more conservative GM when it comes to just giving contracts. He doesn't give out contracts unless he thinks someone actually deserves it. And I feel like we all know, any Colts fan knows, maybe people who aren't Colts fans because they haven't witnessed the greatness that Nyheim Hines is. He is like the perfect backup running back because he can go in and he can do damage on the ground in short spurts, and he can do damage through the air by catching the ball, and maybe you want just a short little running back screen to gain a few yards. He can do that. That's easy for him. So his contract is deserving. Us Colts fans, we know, we've seen it. He's very talented football player. He's fun to watch. He's very versatile. He's also our I think is our kick returner, not our punt returner. No, wait. He is our punt returner. Our kick returner is Isaiah Rodgers. Him and Isaiah Rodgers are our returners. Um, so Nyheim Hines, he's pretty versatile because he's a returner, he's a running back, and they've even had him line up at receiver before because he can play receiver. He's good at catching the ball. But it's just nice to have someone like him because if you need him, like, you have receivers there. You can also have Nyheim Hines because we don't really need an extra blocker in the backfield with how good our offensive line is sometimes. You can just have him run a short little slant route or short little hitch. That way, if none of the receivers are open, Carson Wentz can just dump it off to Nyheim Hines, and Nyheim Hines can take it and do something with it. And last year it was almost always a gain of yards. So gaining a few yards is better than getting sacked for a loss of 5. I feel like that's basic common knowledge, but it's a very deserving contract. I'm excited to see Nyheim Hines here for 3 more years. I'm glad we're locking up more guys. Next, we need to lock up Mark Glowinski, George Odom, Quentin Nelson. He still has another year on his deal after this. Marlon Mack. Got a few guys who we still need to give some extensions to, but we'll see. We'll see. Most importantly, Quentin Nelson and Mark Glowinski, as those two guys are like the cornerstones of our well, Mark Lewinsky less, but a part of our really good offensive line. Xavier Rhodes and T.Y. Hilton are free agents after this year, but they might retire. I'm thinking T.Y. might retire. Xavier Rhodes, I don't know, but there's potential they retire. But we'll see. The Colts still have some extensions to get hammered out, whether during the season or in free agency, whatever. But it's nice to see Nyheim Hines coming back. For a few more years at least. I'll see you guys next time. As always, I'm not funny, and 3 more days. Just 3 more days.
SpongeBob, the fuck wrong with you? I'm on that good cushion alcohol. Nigga!